Three Suitors, One Husband, written by Oyono Mbia. Guillaume Oyono Mbia was born in 1939 in Mbia, Cameroon. African dramatist and short story writer, one of bilingual Cameroon's few writers to achieve success both in French and in English. Oyono Mbia attended the college Evanic at Limbamba and then went to England, graduating from the University of Kiel in 1968. With skill often compared to those of Molière, Oyono Mbia exercised an unusual ability to create comedies that play well both on stage and on radio. Among them are Trolls, Pretendant, O Mal, published in 1962, Three Suitors, One Husband, Until Further Notice, 1967, Notary File, Nisi Meriela Pass, in 1969, Our Daughter Would Not Mail, and His Excellence Trail, in 1969, all written on his favorite theme of youth versus adult, modernity versus attrition. My name is teacher Kaligo Dotto, the teacher of literature in English, the man of literature and the young graphical writer. Dear listeners, especially students, Form 3 and Form 4, who take subject English language in Tanzania, listen the play analysis, Three Suitors, One Husband, which was written by Oyono Guillaume Mbia. And the setting of this play was located in Mbia village in Cameroon country. Let us look at the cast of characters as portrayed by playwright. Number 1, Antagana, Juliet Faz. Number 2, Makrita, Antagana's wife. Number 3, Oyono, Antagana's son. Number 4, Juliet, Antagana's daughter. Number 5, Abesolo, Juliet's grandfather. Number 6, Bera, Juliet's grandmother. Number 7, Ondua, Antagana's brother. And number 8, Matalina, Ondua's daughter. And number 8, Mbaga, the village headman. Number 9, Mezoe, a relative. Number 10, Kouma, Juliet's cousin. Number 11, Oko, Juliet's friends. Number 12, D, the first suitor. Number 13, Mbia, the second suitor. Number 14, Enguru, Mbia's driver. And number 15, Chagen, the third suitor. And the number 16, Sangatiti, the witch doctor. Let us look at the act summary of this play, Three Suitors, One Husband. Act 1. Mbia is expected and Juliet arrives on the same day. The scene breaks by Antagana, who is complaining about his wife, who has delayed to come back from the farm and cook for him. They have a serious discussion in which Abesolo suggests that Antagana and Ondua should beat their wives and daughters. On the same day, they are expecting Mbia, the civil servant, to come in order to marry Juliet, who is still studying at Limbamba. Unknowingly, Juliet arrives the same day, and when she is told the idea of marrying Mbia, she rejects it because she claimed not to love him. The whole family is surprised to hear such a response and become disappointed by the action. The whole family expect to get rich through her, just as Mecca's daughter, who was made the 12th wife of the Deputy Secretary of State, and since then she has been helping her family, so they expect Juliet to do the same. We are also told that there is a young farmer called Ndi who has already paid 100,000 francs for Juliet. Eventually, the civil servant arrives and everybody is impressed. Let us look at it all. The discussion of the blood price with Mbia. Antakana beat the drum to welcome the whole village to come and meet Mbia. Mbia is pompous and boastful. He introduced himself as a great man who is known personally by Secretary of State. Additionally, he brings a lot of drinks for villagers to drink in the middle of discussion. Abesolo asked Mbia's general and find out that is related to Juliet and declare marriage impossible. There is the general tension among the villagers, such that they decide to brush aside the idea of a general and continue with the process. Mbia pays 200,000 francs as a blood price, and Andagana declare marriage settled. On top of the blood price, they also mention a lot of things to be brought along before the marriage is registered. They also found out that Mbia has got 8 wives, and Julia is going to be the 9 wives. Women are not involved in this discussion. When it is over, Julius again refuses to marry Mbia, no matter how much he has paid. So she tells them that she is engaged to someone else whom she loves. And Agana threatens to beat her and says she will marry Mbia, whether she likes or not. Oko appear and they discuss the matter with Juliet. Juliet steals the man paid for her and hands it to Oko and Kouma to be used later as a blood price. Let us look at the story. Ndi comes for his wife, and theft is discovered. The family is happy because Oyono, Juliet's brother, will now have enough money for which to pay for the wife he wants to marry. Still, Juliet refuses and says that man does not prove law. Bella says girls are not allowed to fall in love without the permission of their families. And Takana comes back with Ndi, who has come to take Juliet on hearing that he has come. They tell him the story about the civil servant, and Ndi suggests that he would rather have his man back. On hearing this, Antagana is impressed and rushes into the house to take the man, and they found that the man is missing. Meanwhile, Apesol, Mbaga, and Mezoe are discussing about the young boys, Oyono and Belinga, who have eaten a taboo animal, the viper, without the permission of the elders. After noticing the theft, they ask Ndi to pay some more, 200,000 francs to marry Juliet, but he refuses and is threatened to bring the police. They turn to Mbia and ask him to add some more 100,000 francs and take Juliet right away. He also refuses and demands his man back, plus threatening to bring 10 police commissioners, while Nguru, his servant, takes notes for all other claims against the villagers. Andagan is worried about the 2 police threats, and they decide to call the witch doctor. Let us look at 4. Sangatit, the witch doctor, comes to recover the lost man. Sangatit, the witch doctor, performs rituals, and in the process he asks them to give him a lot of things like goats, chicken, man, lambs. He cheats the villagers about evil spirits like chimpanzees and owls that are troubling them, and promises to sell them powerful certificates to protect them from evil spirits. We are also told of Mbia, the village headman, who has 12 wives and wants to marry the said. Sangatit continues his performance but gives false information about the stolen man. He says, for instance, that Antagana sold 10 sacks for cocoa 2 days ago, and the trader gave him and the magic banknote that took the cocoa man, plus the blood price back to the cocoa trade 2 days ago. The fact is Antagana sold only 3 sacks of cocoa and it was almost a week, and he had received the blood price. Just the same days of the event, they discovered that he's a liar, robber, scoundrel, and they beat him up and chasing him away. Let us look at 5. At last Oak marries Juliet. They all blame sending girls to school because they believe schooling has polluted Juliet. They advise Antagana to take Juliet and move with her around the sea to find her husband there who can pay 300,000 francs. Juliet proposed to them that if a man comes who will be able to pay 300,000 francs at once should marry him, on a condition that they should not demand anything else on top of the blood price. Unfortunately for her, a rich trader called Chegen appeared and they proposed the idea to him. They mentioned a lot of qualities that Juliet has such education and the foreign language she can speak. Hearing this Chegen said he can only pay the maximum of 200,000 francs. Eventually, Oak arrives with Koma and a band of musicians dressed like the real great man. They are looking for greater than even the civil servant. They all prefer him to marry Juliet because of the way Koma introduced him. Oak tells them that he will marry Juliet only if she herself agrees. They are all surprised because women have no choice to decide who they should marry. Lastly, Oak pays 300,000 francs and marries Juliet. That is the plot summary of the play, 3 Suitors, 1 Husband. My dear listeners, listen the characters and the characterization are the element of literature. Number 1, Juliet. She is Antagana's daughter, Oyono's sister, and Oko fiance, or girlfriend, or wife. She is educated and struggled to change the traditional values that oppress women. She is intelligent. She uses her intelligence to fool the villagers by stealing the man, paid by other suitors, and give it to Oko, who pays it back and to get married to legal. She is forced to marry men who are not of her choice, but she refuses. They are Andi, the first suitor, Mbia, the second suitor, and the Chegen, the third suitor. She is a revolutionist who advocates for change. She is fighting for freedom of women in aspects like freedom of expression, choice, and decision making. She is aware of her rights. She wants to show that women are equally important as men and should be consulted on matters affected them directly. She has true love and strength. Juliet shows an example of true love as she loves Oko for who he is, knowing that he has no man and is still studying. She knows that he cannot even afford to pay the blood price. That is why she helps him to get blood price. She is courageous and liberal. She is not easily swayed by circumstance. Even when the whole family turn against her, she is still determined not to follow their decision, even after being certain to be beaten by her relatives. She does not run away from problems, but take an active role in finding the solution to the problem affecting her. She comes from an extant family in which even the issue of marriage is not a person phenomenon. Many people come together, each of them hoping to benefit in one or another. She leaves her family in desperate situation after stealing the man, or pays back the money which will be used later to refund the previous suitors, but the family remains with nothing. She represents young generation who go against outdated traditional custom. Another character, number 2, Antagana. Antagana. He is the Juliet and the Oyono father and the Marita husband. He is a traditionalist. He believes in the witch doctor power. He invites Sangatit to come and recover his lost man. Also, he believes that blood plus is still important to set marriage of the youngster. He is oppressive to women and hot-tempered. He believes in men's superiority and women inferiority. He is an opportunist. He sent Julia to school not because it is her right to education, but because he knows that someday he will benefit from it. Page 12. When I sent her to secondary school, I was just saying to everybody, someday I will benefit from that. Also, he wants to marry Juliet off to Mbia, hoping that through him he would be able to easily get a gun, permit, and the medals of honor. He is great and a money-monger. He is so great for man. He has already received the bad price for Juliet from the yet he accepted the 200,000 francs paid by Mbia for the same girl. Lastly, he received 300,000 paid by Oak just for the same girl. He is ignorant, illiterate, and does not want changes. He is not worth being emulated in the society. Another character, number 3, Kouma. Juliet Coulson, an educated young man who owns the property. He is intelligent. He uses intelligence to bring about changes in his society. For example, he dares to contradict the witch doctor when he keeps on telling lies about the stolen man, while he knows where the money is. He is a revolutionist. He also fights for the right of women, like freedom of choice, expression, and decision making. For example, he says she is left free to choose, you see, page 68. He is literate and so creative. He presents Oak as a great man, dressed immaculately and magnified that everybody suggests him for Juliet. Another character, number 4, Oko. He is an educated young man from Ambam who studied at Liz Likel and Juliet's fiance. He is also revolutionist. He fights for women's rights like freedom of choice, expression, and decision making. He says, for instance, in page 67, I will marry your daughter if she herself agrees. If she is to marry me, she must do as she wants. He is creative. He comes at an Anticanava's home, magnifiedly dressed and easily accepted by the whole family. Another character, number 5, Abesol. He is Juliet's grandfather, Antagana, and Ondua's father, and Bella's husband. He is a traditionalist and a conservative. He approves the traditional values of the society, whether good or bad. For example, he believes that blood plus is still important. Also, women should not be allowed to eat certain taboo animals. He is oppressive to women. He believes that women should be beaten as the wife describing them. He suggests that Ondua and Andagana should beat their wives and daughter. Page 12. He is a hypocrite. He is against sending girls to secondary school, but he wants to benefit from it. He is against changes in society. That's not what's being emulated. Another characters. Number 6, Sankatit. He is the witch doctor from Fowler who comes to recover Ndagana's lost man. He's a liar. He lies the villagers to know about the lost man, when in fact he learns from their own words. He says, for instance, that Ndagana sold 10 sacks of cocoa. 2 days ago, the traders gave him a magic banknote that took the cocoa man plus the blood price back to the cocoa traders 2 days ago. He is superstitious. He believes in witchcraft and the evil spirit. For instance, he threatened to bewitch the whole village. He also promises to set the villagers powerful. He is a robber. He keeps on robbing the ignorant villagers a lot of things like lambs, goats, cockless, by using trick. He is ignorant and illiterate. He does not know the ordinary geography that he says knows in the south. It's just the same thing. He's corrupt. He wants to get rich by using trick. Example, he says that if they want to recover their man, they must give him 15 cockless, 12 goats, 2 lambs, and 6 pigs. He's pompous. He boasts of being competent with witch doctor. What is not? He says as you could not have known about a magic plan, not without the help of powerful witch doctor like me. Another character, number 7, Mbaga. He is the headman of Mvuate's village. He is a traditionalist like Antagan, Ondua, Mezoi, and Abesolo. He too upholds the traditional values. He complained about Belinga and Oyono, who have eaten the weeper without the permission of elders. Page 42. He is a hypocrite. He pretends to place D in order to soften his mind to add some more 200,000 francs. He even pretends to cry mourning the death of D's father, who after all is not dead yet. He is a polygamist. He has 12 wives and is proposing a marry the said wife from Goitet. He is a superstitious. He believes in superstition because he's the one who suggests that idea of calling the witch doctor to recover the stolen man. He's an irresponsible leader. He's not an irresponsible leader because he's supposed to take action to people who distill illegal drinks, but he himself does not the same illegal business. He's a pompous. He brags about himself, for instance, for bringing a competent witch doctor. He also brags about being the headman of the village. Another character, number 8, Ndi. He's a young hardworking farmer from Hawaii. He helps Margarita, his respected mother-in-law, to clear her farms. We are also told that he is an expert in the laying man traps. Page 17. He is a Juliet first suitor who pays 100,000 francs. He is betrayed by Antagana's family that takes Mbia's man, while knowing that Mbia has already paid for Juliet. He threatened to bring the police to arrest Antagana if he fails to pay back his man. Another character, number 9, Mbia. He is the rich civil servant from Sangimelima and Juliet's second of Suitors. He is a pampas. He brags about himself being a very important civil servant, and that the Secretary of State knows him personally. He also likes to be placed when Mbaga places him. He becomes placed and orders drinking for him. He is a polygamist. We are told he has married 8 wives and is now proposing to marry Juliet the 9 wives. He has no true love. The fact that he has 8 wives signifies that he has no true love but himself. women are objective to satisfy his sexual desire. He misused the government position for private gain. He used his position and man to attract more wives to himself. He threatened to use the position to send police officers to arrest the villagers for not paying respect for him. He is a hypocrite and has not stand. Initially, he praised Antagana's family and even drinks an illegal drink act because he wants them to give him Juliet as his wife. He is drunkard. He is a heavy drunkard as he became. A lot of stolen drinks from Sangmerima and even goes to drink at the headman's house. Another character, number 10, Chegen. He is a trader from Bamileke and Julius said Suitors. He owns 2 shops in Sangmerima and a bar in his hotel. He agrees to marry Juliet, but proposes to pay the maximum of 1,200,000 francs only. He is not interested in marrying Juliet after noticing that she costs too much. That is the characters and the characterization of the play. 3 Suitors, 1 Husband. Let us look the title of the play. The title of the play, 3 Suitors, 1 Husband. Tracing through the play, we find that it has a close connection with the content of the play. The following are 3 Suitors and 1 Husband. 3 Suitors, 1 Husband. The first suitor is indeed a young hardworking farmer from Hawaii who proposed to marry Juliet and pays the sum of 100,000 francs. Unfortunately for him, he does not succeed to marry Juliet, as the second suitor overpowered him. The second suitor is Mbia, a rich civil servant from Sangmerima, who proposed to marry Juliet and pays the sum of 200,000 francs, plus a lot of things that he has to bring along on top of the bride price to have the marriage settled. He too does not succeed to marry Juliet. The third suitor is Chagen, a rich trader, businessman from Bamileke, who pays a maximum of 200,000 francs for Juliet. He does not succeed to marry Juliet since the family wants him to pay 300,000 francs. He is not interested in the move away. The husband is Oko, who succeeds to marry Juliet after paying her required amount, 300,000 francs at once. He managed to, where there are some events taking place and the execution of the content in Marikita. She began at the beginning of Act 3 Psalms of rural setting. Let us look style of the play. The playwright has employed the dialogue style throughout the play. There are few cases of narrative technique, especially in stage direction at the beginning of each act. To enrich his style, he has also made use of songs as he went on to sings. In page 23, Aya yam one minga origi ondua anyeve. I am one minga. Let us look language use of figures of speech. Language used in simple and straightforward. Additionally, the playwright has made use of figures of speech. Number 1, personification. Example: when a chameleon dies, a grey lizard should inherit his sack of coconuts. Page 50. Another figure of speech, Semel. Example: Juliet ran to the kitchen like a frightened antelope. Page 41. Example: to marry young men as poor as flies. Page 16. Another figure of speech, hyperbole. The man we are talking about is the one who is ruled everybody in Sangmerima. Another example: the most obedient girl in the world. Page 63. Another figure of speech, understatement. 300,000 francs pocket man, page 66. Who once was the poorest man in the mason, page 18. Girls are nothing, page 66. Another figure of speech, sarcasm or satire. Example, a doctor of mathematics, that is to say, he can count at the leaves on a palm tree, page 65. He is fluent in French, English, German, Spanish, German, English, and French, page 65. He is also, as I'm told, the doctor of the bachelor, page 69. Where is the seat in the marketplace? Let us look metaphor. A little white man, page 13. Another figure of speech. Rhetorical questions. Example, what? He is a bachelor, such a great man, page 65. Where is it in the seat? In the marketplace, page 61. Another figure of speech, barbarism. Example, Akehe, Oyono eto, Mekong, ya gossip up, page 12. Nanengok, page 13. Another figure of speech, onomatopoeia, page 70. Another figure of speech is saying, the first day of the marriage is just the beginning of it, page 26. Let us look. Terms found this play. 3 suitors, 1 husband. The main themes, African traditions and customs. There are different traditions and customs portrayed in this play. Some of this tradition are worth preserving for the future generation, and some are not. Blood price. Just like many other African societies, blood price is important and has to be paid before the girl is married. Polygamy. As it is in most African society, polygamy is rampant in this society. Many male wives to satisfy their sexual desire. For example, Deputy of the Secretary of State has 12 wives. Mbia has 12 wives. Mbia has 80 wives. Superstitions belief. People on voters believe in superstition and witchcraft, just like many other societies in Africa. Example, Abesolo, Mbia, Sangatiti believes in witchcraft. Taboos. There are customs that restrict certain group of people from doing some things. In this society, we see the following taboos. A girl should not speak when her father is speaking. Page 17. Women are not allowed to eat taboos animals like vipers, weed balls. Page 12. Young men are not to eat vipers, and if they do not, they must be permitted by elders. Spouse beating or wife beating. In this society, women are beaten as a way of silencing and displeasing them. Traditional religion. Still, many villagers keep the traditional local beliefs. They believe in the spirit of their dead ancestors, and that elves and the chimpanzee are evil spirits of the past. Traditional dancing. In this society, celebration accompanied by dance. They celebrate a happy event by beating drums and dancing their traditional dance called Nyeng. This is a good custom to be pleased with as it promotes African culture. Forced marriage. Love is important. Marriage. However, in this society, marriage is not defined by the love, but the man, the whole families, forced Juliet to marry Mbia, not because she loves him, but because he has paid. Much man forced marriage is also one of the major sources of conflict between youngsters and elders. Let us look at another dams, number 2. Awareness. It is a state of being conscious about what is going on around you. Example, Kouma is aware of Sangatiti's lies. He knows where the man is, but Sangatiti keeps on telling lies. Julius is aware of her rights, like freedom of speech, decision making, and choice. Kouma and Oko are aware of the fact that women are important people in the society and should be respected. Another themes, numbers, the influence of man and power. They cultivate cash crops like cocoa in order to get man. Some distill illegal haki to get man. Marriage has also become a business. Love based on man. Sangatiti is caught up and want to get rich easily through people's ignorance. Man leads girls into polygamy. Mbia is opportunistic. Man and power make people arrogant and boastful. Another themes, number 4, nepotism. To get medals and a gun permits, they say it is so difficult to get it when you do not know the right people in the government. To avoid frequent beating from police, for example, Mbia discovers that the people of the village are distilling illegal act, but take not action, since he wants to become the in-law. This is a common phenomenon in Africa now. People are treated on the bias of whom you know, and not what you know. For example, in this society, everyone is in favor, in civil because on top of the blood price they expect to be favored in that sphere, as well as another themes. Number 5, influence of education. Education is another tool for social changes. If used possibly, it acts as a medium of transforming a traditional society into a modern one. In this society, education has been used positively to bring about social changes in the following ways. It has brought awareness to young people who acquired it. Oko and the Kouma are also aware of women's rights. Education increases the values of individuals. Most people who are educated are considered valuable to compare the uneducated ones. Education has brought about cultural changes. Another themes, number 6, classes in the society. There is a classes of educated and uneducated. There is a class of educated people represented by people like Juliet, Oko, and Kouma, and that of uneducated represented by people like Mbaga, Matalina, Abesolo, Antagana, and so on. There is a classes of traditionalists and modernists. There is also a class of those who wish to see the traditional value of their society, whether good or bad, upheld at any cost, and those who see no need to continue with outdated custom. People like Mbaga, Abesolo, Antegana, Ondua uphold traditionalism, while people like Belinga, Oyono, Juliet, Oko, and Kouma embrace modernism. Class of rich and the poor. There is also a class of rich and the poor, like Mbia, who enjoys the nation cake, and the traders like Chegen, while the majority like villagers, peasants, are suffering from poverty, expecting to get rich. There's a class of town dwellers and villagers dwellers. The lives of people in town different from those in villages. Mbia despises the villagers. We are told that even Nguru, a mere driver, despises the villagers since they come from town. Another themes, number 7, hypocrisy. Many people in the society seem to be affected by hypocrisy. They do or say whatever might earn them favor. Example, Mbia is a hypocrite. When he wanted to marry Juliet, he plays the villagers and even does not take action when he discovers that they conduct illegal business by deceiving Ak. Mbaka is a hypocrite. At first he plays Mbia and favor him for Juliet, and they kick out D. When the man is stolen, he plays D to soften him to add 200,000. Elders like Abesolo are hypocrites. They condemn secondary school for polluting girls. They wait to come the age of marriage. They want to benefit. Another thing, number 8, struggle for change. The play tries to show the areas that need reformation and argues the society to make necessary social changes. There are outdated customs which needs to be reformed, like forced marriage, blood ties, women beating, taboos, spiritual beliefs. Other minor themes include betrayal. Juliet's families betray Ndi by taking more money from Mbia, which they know that Ndi has already paid for her. Illiteracy. Many people portray a picture of literacy. That is why Oko, Kouma, and Juliet take advantage of their illiteracy to facilitate marriage between Oko and Juliet. Irresponsibility. Mbia and Mbaga are irresponsible leaders. Despite knowing that this leading act is legal, they take no action. Love. There are two extremes of love portrayed in the society. There is a true love, as expressed by Juliet and Oko, and untrue love is shown by polygamists. Let us look another element of literature, as portrayed by playwright Guillaume Oyono Mbia. Conflict. This refers to the misunderstanding or collision of ideas, viewpoints, or opinions within a person, between or among groups of people in society. Number one, intrapersonal conflict. Juliet, she suffered interpersonal conflict because of outdated customs in her society. Antagana, he suffered interpersonal conflict after discovering the theft of his man. Number two, family conflict. Juliet with her family. This occurs when she refuses to marry the rich man they have chosen for her. It intersays that she argues with family contrary to their expectation, since women do not speak in importance. It ends with she marries Oko, who pays 300,000 francs. Mbia and the Juliet family. This occurs when they tell Mbia to add some man 100,000 francs for Juliet. He demanded his man back and threatened to bring the police. Ndi and the Juliet family. This occurs when they tell Ndi to add some more 200,000 francs for Juliet. Number two, cultural conflict. This conflict between tradition, culture, and modern culture. Young generation represented by Juliet, Oko Kouma, Belinga, and Oyono embrace modernism by going against the traditional culture. They forbid them to do certain things, like eating vapors. Freedom of choice, decision making, and speech. Number three, social conflict. This occurs when the villagers and the witch doctor, Sangatiti, it occurs when the villagers discover the Sangatiti is not only a liar, but also a robber, and is not able to recover the lost man. He just keeps on robbing them and threatens to bewitch them. They beat him up and chase him away. Number five, political conflict. There is a conflict between rulers and peasants. This occurs when the police keeps on beating the villagers do not pay the taxes and arrest them for being drunk. They want Mbia to marry Juliet to help them. Let us look another element or part, which is law and position of women. Guillaume Oyono Mbia try to portray different positions and law, both positive and negative. Here are some positions women occupy in this society. Number one, women portrayed as hard workers. In this society, women do all of the works, while men almost nothing. Number two, women portrayed as revolutionists. Usually represent the women who want to change his society. Number three, women portrayed as caretaker. In this society, women are the caretaker of the family, and when the children misbehave, the women are blamed for it. Number 4. Women are portrayed as courageous. Juliet, pleasant, positive flower women can plan and build a new society. Number 5. Women are portrayed as inferior to men. Women are shown to be weak individuals with no say. They also be beaten as a well disciplined. Abesolo suggests that Ondu and Ndagana should beat their wives. Number 6. Women portrayed as a tool for pleasure. In this society, women treated as an object to satisfy men's sexual desire. Example. Mbia already has 8 wives. Mbaga has 12 wives. Number 7. Women portray the source of income. Example. Ndagana, for instance, sent Julia to school, not because of respecting her right for education, but because it's expected to benefit later. Number 8. Women portrayed as a people with true love and a firm stand. Juliet loves Oko for who he is. She does not expect to get anything from Oko apart from love. Number 9. Women portrayed as superstitious. In this society, women portrayed as superstition. Example. Sankatedi feels the due to the polygamy. Some women are given by their mothers some fetishes to win their husband's heart. Number 10. Women portrayed as segregated. In this society, women look down upon. Men do not want to consult women on anything matter. Let us look the message found in this play. The 3 Suitors has one husband by Guillaume Oyono Mbia. Number 1. Blood plies, polygamy, superstition beliefs, forced marriage, and wife beating. Outdated traditional custom, they need to be discouraged. Number 2. People should use their education positively to bring about social changes. Number 3. Hypocrisy is not good in any ideal society. Number 4. Witch doctors are liars and robbers. Number 6. Love and not man should be the determinant of true marriage. Number 7. Illiteracy is an obstacle to development. Number 8. Boys and girls should be given equal rights for education. Number 9. Food taboos should be discouraged as they deprive women and children by requirement nutrients. Let us look at the last element, relevance of the play. Number 1. Polygamy is still a problem in most African societies and among the Muslims. Number 2. Blood plies is still common customs in many African societies and a source of conflict in marriage among the youngsters and elders. Number 3. People still believe in witchcraft and superstition beliefs as solution of their problems. Number 4. There are people who earn a living by conducting illegal business like distilling gongo.